In many countries, the government have to care for people. Government give money to work like doctor and nurse. Sometimes work is not it's enough money, more help is needed. More help is needed after an emergency too. Volunteers give this help. Anyone can do volunteer work. Volunteer can be young or old. Many volunteers work with countries that help people around the world. Some doctor and nurse fly to send of kilometers to do volunteer work in another country. They work in hospital or clinic for many weeks or months. They sometimes give warnings of that people do not get serious diseases. Every year in the USA, about 62 million people do voluntary work. About 8 million volunteers are 16 to 24 years old. People with disorder do one of the most important jobs. Education helps people to get a better job and to have a better life. Education is important for everyone. When we are very young, we don't know much about anything. Our parents and other people in our family teach us many things at home. Before we go to school, they help us to eat, water, and play. They help us as much as possible at the start of our life. School teachers have a very special, important job. They get children ready for life. School teachers have very young children to read and write when they are in simple mathematics. They also teach other children subjects like geography, history, skill, and language. Many other people help in the school. Classroom assistants give more help to children who need it. For example, children who are disabled in home school cook, make snacks and lunch for children and their teachers. Playground assistants help children to stay safe too. There are still playgrounds. So many people in the world can have a good education today. Only about 82% of people who are more than 15 years old can read and work. Education is not just for children. After school, many young people go to college or university. Some people go to college or university when they are older and older. Others study different subjects at home afterward. Professors teach college and university students many different subjects from architecture to zoology. One of the most popular university subjects is law. Professors need to know a lot about their subject so that they can help students to do well and get better jobs throughout life. One of the bigger universities is Indira Gandhi National Open University in India. It has about 2 million students. All around the world, there are volunteer teachers. Doing volunteer work is a wonderful way to see new places and meet new people. Volunteers also help many children and adults to learn information that can help them throughout their life. Volunteer teachers work in different ways. Some volunteers move to another country to teach there for a few months or years. Others stay in their own country. Maybe they go to a school for just 1-2 hours a week to help young children with subjects like reading and mathematics. Maybe they teach their current language, for example, French, Spanish, or English to people who move there from another country. Education does stop after college or university. Trainers teach workers new information, for example, information technology or a no longer to help them to do their job better. Education really is for life. Some people are lucky because they have many different types of food to eat. In other places, people can always grow or buy all the food that they need. Many people want to try to provide food for everyone. Healthy food helps people to stay well because it has a lot of important nutrients. When people grow food, they have themselves and other people too. Some people have a garden of other land where they can grow fruit and vegetable for family and friends. Maybe they can provide all the food they all need, but they can have. Farmers grow most of the food that people eat. In Asia, farmers grow a lot of rice, and in Europe, they grow a lot of wheat. In North America, farmers grow a lot of corn. Farmers also grow vegetables like potatoes, carrot and onion, and fruit like apple, orange, and banana. Some farmers raise animals so that people can eat meat like chicken and beef. People in some parts of the world have as much food as they need to be healthy. People in other parts of the world don't have enough to eat, and sometimes they are so hungry that they can die. In some places, people can grow crops because its weather is too hot and dry, or lose weight. This often means that they don't have enough to eat. Sometimes people can buy food because of or worse, a natural disaster like a bad storm. Maybe food is too expensive. People don't have enough money to feed themselves and their families. Around the world, more than 1 billion people don't have enough food. Without food and water, people can die after only 4 weeks. Many people want to have other world don't have enough food. Some countries give people seed so that they can grow food. Example farms feeds other farmers how to grow the strongest, healthiest crop, like corn of sugar cane. Some parties have farmers to become further farmers. Fruit farmers usually sell their crops like to store and supermarkets so that the farmers get more money. This helps them to buy more seed and to grow more food. No states are even making seed that can grow with little water. In some countries that have learned to make rain, they put special chemicals into very cold clothes. Open earth and inverse everything is in need water. Without water, friend, animal, and people work die. In some places there is a lot of water, in other places there is not enough water, and this makes life very diverse. A lot of water is used from farming, crops need water to grow, and animals drink water. In industry, people use water to help nature to work, and so that they can make the things that we need and enjoy. Water is also important at home. We drink water. We use water to wash overseas clothes and dishes, and to clean the home. We also use water when we flush the toilet. Many people want to produce water for farming and industry, and for the home. Most of the first water that people use coming from rivers, lakes, or the ground. People build reservoirs to store this water. They also build bottles to take it to the farm place. In places where there is not enough water, farms sometimes works with local people to build water to provide water to farmers. They also have to keep water in winter and spring as clean as possible. Most of its water is salt water in the conversion into ice. Only about 2% can be used by people for drink, cooking, washing, farming, and industry. If people drink of distilled water, they can get very sick. People need clean water to stay healthy. People in rich countries are lucky because they have other clean water that they need. In the water industry, people is constantly the dirty water. In many poor countries, people have to clean water every day. They have dirty water for cooking, drink, and washing. More than 1 billion people don't have clean water to drink. In some countries give people live straw. Live straw make dirty water clean and safe to drink. Today, there are about 6 billion people on our planet. Every day, there are more. Many people don't have enough water, and they have to travel a long way to collect water. We need to do things now to make sure that people in the future will have enough water. We can all have to save water. Don't use too much water when you wash your main toothpaste. Brush your teeth and wash to this. Turn on the water when you have enough hot water in the radio water so that you don't have to run the water and so cause loss of it every time you want a cold drink. Take a shower, not a bath. If you have to take a bath, don't fill the bathtub. I had a syntax help. The drivers drive too fast and really dangerously, and there's often road. The cars are mostly in pretty poor condition, but what I have the most is that their rains are air conditioned is so hot here. There's really need I continue to exist. By the time I arrive somewhere, I feel really hot and uncomfortable. I think the taxis here are okay. They're pretty comfortable. Most of the cottages are new, and they keep them pretty clean. They're a little expensive though. I paid $75 to come from the airport. That's too expensive. I guess the thing I had the most though is that the drivers don't speak English very well. It's very difficult to explain to them where you want to go. The taxis here are okay. I guess the driver take credit card. That's the thing I like most about them. It's really convenient, but the taxis are pretty old, so they're not very comfortable. Half of them don't have sharp bed of conditioning. A famous story is a famous American TV talk show saw 14 million people 134 countries with her show every week. She lives in California, but she also has a friend in Colorado where she works over is one of the richest women in America. She earns millions of dollars every year. She gives a lot of money to charity. She was born on January 29, 1995 in Cosico, Mississippi. Her parents were very poor. Her father, Fanny worked in a coal mine and the mother, Vanita Clyde Hurst. They couldn't look after Afra, so she lived with her grandmother. Her teammates Afra was clever. She could read before she was there, and when she was 17, she secured a scholarship to the Minnesota State University where a student drama, so also started reading the news at the local radio station. In 1984, I first moved to Korea to work on a TV show called Chicago talk to lots of interesting people about their problems. A person people's problems are my problems. The show was very successful, so in 1995 it was another offer with the show. In 1993, she interviewed Michael Jackson and 1.5 million people with the program. Last year she earned for $206. In 1998, offers that the Creative offers Angel Network. This helped for children all over the world. In 2007, she opened a special school in South Africa. The offer was a registered academy for girls. She said, when I was a kid, we were poor and so didn't have money. So what did I do? I studied the arts. Serves give up to school focus them her dog. The literacy didn't have it in real life. Some immigrants are because of a natural disaster like a tsunami or an earthquake. Others are because of something that people do. Living in a world in emergency, people need help very quick. People become reflective when they have to leave their home in a major disaster of when their home is lost. There are millions of regulars in the world. Most regulars have had figuring expenses. They have often lost everything they home, their job and their school. Maybe they have lost people in their family too. They often live in refugee camps, special places where refugees can live and be safe. Refugees try to have to serve, but this can be very difficult. They also need help from others. The refugees need food, water, the somewhere to live. They also need to see a doctor if they have been hurt of it. If they are sick, sometimes a country government care for refugees. International organizations like the United Nations actually have two courses are also important. Some courses have to be recruit them and to give recruits food and clothes. Other clothes have people who are hurt or sick. Culture also have requests to go back to their home when it's safe. I am a flight attendant. Many people think it's a boring job, but I love it. I get to travel all over the world and I meet lots of interesting people. I like that the job is pretty seriously. We don't work non-stop for the work week. We have plenty of time to sit down and take break. On long flight, we can even take a nap. Also, the money is very good for me. All of our expenses are paid when we're working. There are new Chinese restaurant just 5 minutes from my house. It's a very simple place, a little boring instead. Actually, just a first table in an empty room. They need to add more dessert to the menu too. Right now, they only serve 4 or 5 things, but they roll out the restaurant and very cheap. You can get a good meal there for around $500. All the people were very friendly and helpful, so I left a good tip. One of the worst natural disasters happened in Indonesia on December 26 in 2004. A huge earthquake under the Indian Ocean caused a giant wave or tsunami that travels dozens of kilometers across the ocean at great speed. By the end of the day, more than 105 people had died, many thousands more people were hurt, and millions of people in many countries lost their homes. Lots of people helped after the tsunami. Families, friends, and neighbors helped each other. Many people come from countries all around the world to help too. Governments sent workers to help, and charities sent volunteers. One of the biggest jobs was to clean off the beaches and towns. People saved things like wood and stone to build new homes and buildings. There's a new Chinese restaurant just 5 minutes from my house. It's a very simple place, a little boring inside, actually just a first table in an empty room. They need to add more dessert to the menu too. Right now, they only serve 4 or 5 things, but theirs are delicious and very cheap. You can get a good meat there for under $10. All the people who worked there were very friendly and helpful, so I left a good tip. Another terrible natural disaster happened on January 12 in 2010. There was a huge earthquake near Port-au-Prince. The hospital of Haiti more than 205 houses were damaged, and thousands of other buildings were destroyed. More than 200 people died, about 300 more people were hurt, and more than a million people lost their homes. The people of Haiti work with many people from other countries who come to help. One of the most important jobs was to care for people who had been hurt and to find people who were lost. They also helped to rescue people from under damaged buildings. People helped to give food and clean water to everyone and made sure to people who were sick. They also made record camp for people who had lost their homes. There are more than 6 billion people in the world, but there are very many more animals. Lots of people have animals. Versions of vet care for animals. Some vet work in a veterinary counter in town and cities. People take their pets like cat and hamster when they are sick or hurt. A fur pets ensure to care for animals. That's for a caring for a snow leopard in zoo. Snow leopards are very rare. There are only about 4,500 with northern in Asia. The airport is far away from the city and it's pretty horrible place. It's very crowded and there aren't many facilities too. You know, like stores or restaurants. Anyway, my flight was okay. It was a bit bumpy. The food was overthought. It's overdry and tasteless. The service was fantastic. The reflight assistant did her best to make everyone feel comfortable. The worst problem was the other passengers. The plane were full of large challenge students on their way to spring break in Florida. Next time I want travel during spring break. There are lots of animal courses. Some territories are small and they have local animals. Other countries are larger international organizations that have animals all around the world. Churches have animals in many worlds, but they need money to do this. Many people give money to animal countries. Some people give money to adopt an animal. The animal stays in its home, but the creator uses their money to help to keep it safe. Some volunteers form an animal charity in Germany collects food that are migrating with dangerous roads. Then they take them to a star place. I had the worst thing happen to me this morning. I was running to catch the bus and I was talking on my phone at the same time. Anyway, I was running hard and just earlier I got to the bus stop. I dropped my phone in a gigantic puddle. Some nice man helped me free it. I was completely shocked. The man told me to take the battery off and let all the park dry out during the day. It sounded like a good idea, so I tried it. I put the battery back this afternoon and tried to make a call, but it doesn't work. Not I will have to go to the pawn store and get a new one. I used to lift weight, but I didn't really enjoy it, so that's when I started swimming. Now I do it about twice a week. It's much more fun. I go to a niche pool near my office. It's never too crowded, which is great. There are friendly people who go there, so it's a good place to meet people. This campus is really beautiful. It's like a park. There are lots of plants and trees everywhere. That was one of the reasons I decided to come here. Another was the teacher. I heard the teachers were really great, but a lot of them don't seem to be very interesting. They give warning interest and they don't accept to have time to talk to students after class. Another problem is my schedule. I have trouble getting into the class that I need. It's because the school is evacuated. However, the other students I've met have been really great. I've met some beautiful friends. I've been at this school for 2 years now. It's not the most archaic campus. The buildings are okay. They look like common blocks, and there are hardly any birds or plants. One thing that I do like here is the game. It's a great place to go between class. You can swim in a beautiful pool, and the workout room has modern equipment. It's funny that the game looks so nice while the rest of the campus doesn't. I am pretty happy with my class and my teachers are very helpful. They have plenty of time to see you outside of class. I have a great schedule and right now all of my classes start in the afternoon so I can sleep in. I love sleeping in. I am afraid I haven't been happy here at all. I think I made a mistake. It costs a lot of money, but just is not worth it. The classes are really boring and they don't seem very useful. I have to take a computer science class and they don't even teach their hair. I haven't made many friends either. Everyone thinks it's so easy to meet people, but the other students seem very unfriendly to me. They do have a lot of interesting clubs. There's photography club I may join. One thing that's neat is the campus is very active. There are a lot of birds and neat places to sit outside. There are even an outdoor cafe. I guess that's what you're paying for. I came here because I want to study at the photography department in Falls. The teachers are worth no working artists. Some people think that just because you're good at something doesn't mean you can teach it. But the teachers here are good. The campus it's really just a building don't know, so it's not very nice to look at. There's no game or cafeterias of clubs or anything. My schedule is travel and my class are at English in the morning. That's hard for me because I like to stay up and more on my photos. I'm so busy that I haven't really paid much attention to the other students, but they seem very nice. Sometimes at our school, the students are too competitive. I think this place is different too. Saturday morning, I got a phone call from an old school friend. I have seen her for a long time. She was one of my college friends in high school, but she moved to Los Angeles to work. She was intern for 4 days, so she invited me to a restaurant for lunch. We had such a pleasant time together. She was telling me about her job in Los Angeles. It sounded really interesting. She works for a movie company and she has to find places where they can film movie. Places like restaurant, hotel, lobby, park, and stores. There are many millions of species of plant and animal. They live around us on land, in water, and in the earth. Without them, air and everything on it already. Species are important in many ways. All species need each other. Animals eat plants, and some animals eat other animals too. People eat plants and animals. People also use plants as medicines and in industry. All individual plant and animal do, but whenever a plant or animal in a species has died, this species is extinct. This means that it's lost forever. When one species dies, maybe others that need it will die too. People need to protect all the plants and animals on Earth. In that run, many species will become extinct in the future. For millions of years, there has been life on your planet Earth. Earth has everything that people, animals, and plants need: air, water, and land. Everyone should care for our planet. People damage Earth with pollution that comes from resources like car and plants, and from electricity used at home and industry. To make electricity, people burn fossil fuels like coal and oil. They mix too many gases like carbon dioxide, and they make Earth to work. Many experts think that this is cunning and simulate. Some countries are becoming colder and wetter, others are becoming hotter and drier. People see a lot of land to build farms and cities. They cut down millions of trees to clear land so that they can grow crops and keep animals. All these things can damage the environment and many of our species of plants and animals. Government, churches, and individuals are working to find ways to protect the environment. Environmental conferences there's people about problems like pollution. They talk to government and new reporters. They tell people about where stop pollution. Many persons do have to protect the environment after a disaster. For example, they clean water after an oil spill or they plant new trees after a fire. Some cities have found help way to make clean electricity they does not use fossil fuels. Instead, just using energy from the sun, wind, or water. This is important because we all need electricity, but there won't be fossil fuel forever. Today, most cars use and trucks also use gasoline that's made from oil. Some engineers have recent car and use biogas instead. Biogas can be made from waste or from plants. Some fine and I am wear one vacation in China somewhere. I went shopping one day and got some really fabulous thing. I got rice. I got nice running shirts and training clothes. I thought the price was reasonable and I had gardening, so I just bought the price Dave asked. The next day, one of my friends went back to the same store and decided to bargain. She got things for much safer price than I paid. Next time I go traveling, I will sure to bargain when I see something. I just got a new neighbor in the apartment start for me. I haven't met her yet, but I can hear her TV set every day because through the volume of really high. This should really be more considerate of her neighbor. I guess I really need to get some exercise outside in nature. Right now I heard all the time, but it's always indoors. I live work at an indoor game and I go swimming every weekend at an indoor pool. I even go jogging on an indoor lake. I was watching TV last night when a bling competition came on. Now I'm really excited about beach reaching. I would really love to try it. I was a big adult in high school. I did my swimming and more swimming, but I work now. I never go swimming. I know that I start exercise more, but I'm just too lazy jogging. That's why the most work and really makes my knees hurt. A lot of people I know are into big sailing, but I know have a big I guess dog training stop. My wife loves it and want to teach me how to play. I delete to play I think. Exercise is really important to me. I like doing things where I keep exit things that are good for my heart. My romance is not like that's out or drop. We have to often surf it the internet for hearts. Then he played his guitar in his room all afternoon. I just had sitting around indoors, expertly had surfing the internet. I was to meet other people. I also went to get out and visit new places, like out in the country, where you can see some real nature. After my husband got sick last year, the doctor told him to just 20 pounds. Since then, I have been trying to have him lose the weight by exercising with him. There is rumors we can do doctor talk with something job in this morning, but you are in work late. He does not want to make up early. Our company center has an aerobic class in the evening, but he won't go. He said it's just for women, so neither of us does that. We went to try walking, but the doctor said switch to doctors. So now I am thinking about getting him got lesson for both us actually. The working may even be a little romantic too. I try to say very active. I run tennis with my doctors every weekend and I go golfing every day. I start to lift weights too and I am talking about heavy weights, but I had to stop recently because I had to have an operation on my back. Now I am really worried that I'll have to stop playing tennis and golf too. I don't really have a lot of hobbies in indoors business sport, so I really need to keep doing them. The doctor said swimming would help my back improve, so maybe I will try that. I live in a big city, so I love being around lots of people. My brother is completed the outside last weekend. He took me to the country to go bird watching. I was so bored the whole time. I love talking to people and doing creative things. I just love to get all my friends together at my apartment in the city and do something. We could have a free dinner party maybe, or we cover bring over some guitars and drums and stuff like that and sing and dance. I grew up near Chicago. I really want to be a game teacher at a school. I love sport and I started to play them a lot. After I got started, I started to get a job as a game teacher in my town. But I didn't want to move away because my father was sick. So I had to find something else to do. Well, I was always kind of interested in cooking. My mom taught me to cook and I often said to make meal of the family when I was a kid. Anyway, my dear friend have a small restaurant and asked me if I like to help out. My first job was helping in the kitchen and that's where I really tried to cook. Uh, I, I used to eat the clip or what so that I could pick after teaching weeks. Then a year later, the owner asked me to be one of the chef that a couple of years ago. I decided to open of my own restaurant. It's not really well. We have three chefs and we're also very busy, especially on the weekends. If we are security, we will also favor fast food. There's rare desperation where we are not watching television or watching the computer. We should remember to turn them off. When we got out of a room, we should turn off the lights. Two, we should not see very hot weather to waste ourselves or our colors before because we use a lot of electricity to hot weather. We are knitting legs, bed, chairs, and tables, but many people buy too much, making lots of new things, uses lots of electricity. We start searching for as long as possible. This with us less electricity. We start also rush of reusable thing as much as possible. This will make less waste, which is good for the environment. When you turn off electricity, you can help to keep Earth safe. Help Earth have their babies on the ocean ice in the Arctic. If Earth gets warmer, the ice will melt and the Earth could be threatened. In small ways, we can help the environment. In a big way, we can all help our planet. The man who lives next to me is moving. I cannot say that I am too upset about it. He's lived next to me for almost 5 years, but I do not think he's spoken to me more than 3 or 4 times. Sometimes I wave to him in the morning and he doesn't even wave back. Vancouver's take is incredible. You will not believe all the things she managed to get done. She works at a big club from dusk and works really long hours. She also volunteers on the weekends. To top it off, her house is always watches. I hardly don't know where she finds the time. The man who lives next to me is moving. I cannot say that I am too upset about it. He's lived next to me for almost 5 years, but I do not think have spoken to me more than 3 or 4 times. Sometimes I will have to in the morning, and he doesn't even have back. My neighbor's Stacy is incredible. You wouldn't believe at the things she manages to get done. She works at a big club for the doctor and works really long hours. She also volunteers on the weekends. To top it off, her house is always volunteers. I hardly don't know where she finds the time. They work for a market research company. We do research for companies that are planning to develop new products. I call people and ask them questions about products that are using now. Sometimes in invite people to come to meeting. We discuss plans for new products with them. It's pretty interesting work. I've been doing it for nearly 15 years now, and I've got to plan to change job. The thing I really like about my job is that each month I am working on something completely different, so it never gets boring. I have my own desk company. It's very small, just me and 2 assistants. I desk process advertisement for magazines, menus, and things like that. It's a very creative job. I started the company just 2 years ago, just after I graduated from the sixth school. Things have gone pretty well for me. I have 2 big children, and most of my work is from them. Sometimes I have to work very late at night if I have a big job to finish quickly. I always have plenty of work to do, and I am always busy. I have had my own restaurant for 10 years. When I first bought this place, I thought it would be easy to run, but it's very hard work. I work hard, sometimes we're very busy, and sometimes we're very slow. We usually have a lot of customers on the weekends. During the week, it sometimes quits. I never have a day off because there are always so many things to do. I don't do any of the cooking myself. I have 3 very good chefs to do that. Owning a restaurant is a tough job, but I love it. I don't want to do anything else. I've always collected things. Even when I was young, I was set to collect everything: comic book, baseball cards, you name it. But there are packed away in boxes now. Now my favorite pastime is gardening. I spend all weekend outside with my friends. I love seeing them change. That's when I like best about it. I guess there's a little seed I first, and then one day there's big beautiful flowers. When I was a teenager, all I did was sit around playing video games, but I can't stand them anymore. I work in an office now, so I sit in front of a boring computer screen all day. Now I like being outdoors. I belong to a hiking group, and we go to some place different every weekend. I keep fit and healthy this way. The best thing is that I can make some really good friends. I always loved reading as a kid, so for a long time I went to write creator of books. I tried to do it for a few years after college, but I was really hard to come up with good stories. As I guess I am not very good with words. No, I have just one thing. I won a French prize too in art competition for my watercolor and oils. The pictures are important to me, though not the pleasure. What I enjoy most is creating pictures. It makes me so happy. This is great. You can use it to clean the soft of the inside of your car. It's reasonable, so it runs for about 30 minutes when it's fully charged. Also, if you drop stuff on the carpet, it picks up the dirt very easily. It's very light too, so it's really easy to use. It only has a small bag inside to collect the dirt, so don't forget to change the bag regularly. You can see when it's falls through the plastic cover. Be sure to put it back on the charger after you use it, or the battery will run down and it won't work.